I literally gained weight for a decade. I blew up like a balloon. Until by the age of 21, I was like out here, and I was miserable. I was always ill, aside from the thyroid condition. There were points I was literally taking 14 or 15 different pills a day into my body, allopathic medicine. I was a mess. So, everything changed for me in the year 2002 with a certain raw food book that was lent to me, and I usually have it here to show you, but we just sold out. So, if anyone has the Raw Family book with them, somebody must have bought it. Okay. Well, yeah, the little red covered book by the Botanicos called Raw Family was the one that changed my life. Has anybody read that book?
Yes.
Alright, cool. So you guys are familiar with that one. So, my friend lent me that book back in 2002, and I truly stepped into that bing, light bulb moment with that book. You know, I started to read it, and I couldn't stop. I got the message. I got the idea. There's no pharmaceutical company sitting on the top of me becoming a raw foodist. You know, who's going to benefit? Organic farmers? Well, good. You know, I want to support organic farmers. So, I read that whole book in one night, and I went 100% raw vegan the next day. From being the kind of person who literally couldn't walk past McDonald's prior to that. I mean, I was living on thousands and thousands of calories a day prior to going raw. And mainly junk food, right? That's what I grew up on. So I went overnight into 100% raw vegan, and as many of you can probably imagine, my detox was off the hook. In a 300-pound, highly toxic body, suddenly 100% raw vegan overnight is not a pretty sight, I can tell you. So I was 100% raw for 1 week in the beginning. And I couldn't go any further at that point. It felt like it was too much too soon for me. I took a step back to eating about 70-80% raw. And that's what I did for the first 2 years of this journey, during which time I released 160 pounds. So that was fast enough for me, you know. In the first year alone, I released 105 pounds. That's a whole person, right? There's not many people in this room or we know people who weigh about that much, and that just disappeared in 1 year. It was a dramatic time of transformation for me. Every single time I looked in the mirror, it was like seeing something new. This was my first revelation. Oh my God! I've got a collarbone! I hadn't seen this thing for like 12 years or something. I have ribs. This was like this huge revelation one night in bed. There's bone in there! You know? I've been so big for so long, it was hard for me to even imagine I had a skeleton. And that was just the beginning, like I said, that was just the physical stuff, and everything was changing. So about 5 years ago now, I came back to the point of eating 100% raw, and I have been that way ever since. And for me, the last thing I was eating in the kids' food world, I don't know if you guys can identify with this at all, but my last kind of crutch in the cooked food world was rice cakes. You know those stacks of rice cakes? I was eating like a stack a day of those things. One day I looked at them and just thought, why do I eat these things? You know, they're disgusting. They taste like cardboard. I could be eating flax crackers. There's no nutrition in these things. And so that was it. The next day I threw them out and I started to eat flax crackers. And from that day onwards I've been totally raw. And there was no drama in it anymore for me by that point, because I'd been on this path for 2 years already. I already had my kind of pace going with it. So, I always like to encourage other people now to take it slowly, because you're more likely to stay with this lifestyle in the long run if you take it slowly, you know? What we see happen over and over again is people find out about a raw food lifestyle and they want to be 100% raw straight off the bat. And 2 or 3 months later, you never hear from them again, right? Because it's such a radically different lifestyle to what most people are used to. that, you just don't see them again. So I like to encourage people to start at least 50% raw and take it from there towards 100% raw, if you ever take it that far. It's not a competition. You don't get like a halo or a plaque on the wall or something if you make it to 100% raw, It's just a choice. So I feel really good with the choices I make now. The point that I've come to now with my health, I've never felt genuinely happier or healthier. I don't get ill anymore. Like I said, was at some point on 14 or 15 different pills a day, and I don't take thyroid medication anymore. I came off that when I went raw. The person who introduced me to raw foods is also a homeopath, and she guided me into homeopathic remedies and away from allopathic medicine. And she also helped me to start taking kelp tablets, which is now what I do every single day. I take kelp to feed iodine into my thyroid, and I eat seaweeds pretty much every single day. And of course I'm totally raw and I'm active, and my thyroid is naturally balanced now. So I feel really blessed to be able to stand here as living proof that we can come off medications that we think and we believe that we're on for life. Because that's what I was told, right? That was my whole belief system, that I was on this medication for life. I thought I would die if I came on thyroxine. I've been on it for 13 years, a really high dosage. And, well, apparently I didn't die coming off it. Apparently I'm still here and actually the healthiest I've ever been. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm not suggesting that if you or anybody you know is on thyroid medication, to just come off it, cold turkey or cold cucumber or whatever you like to say. But I am happy to share my story. So one of the most recent parts of my journey has been juice feasting. I think I've heard that mentioned a couple of times already tonight. Has anybody never really heard of juice feasting? Are you guys all keyed into that? Some people, okay. So most people have heard of juice fasting, right? What's the difference? Fasting, feasting. Well, this is my little booklet all about juice feasting, and basically it's about abundance. It's about having a feast of juice, a massive amount of juice every day going into your body as a form of cleansing. So I